Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. So, yeah, I was up pretty much like I went to bed like around 8 or 9 o'clock or 10, got up around 2, and then couldn't sleep. And so I decided that I needed to change my business page because at first, with my business page exposing the lies, it was based upon a thought process that doesn't exist anymore. And when I was revamping the business page a couple months ago, I tried to change the name of it to match the Jilly Juice LLC, which is the name of my business, so to speak, and it wouldn't let me do that. And I was more concerned about the likes, and I have 6,000 likes. But I noticed that when I do post stuff, um, that, I might see a lot of people look at it with not saying too much, excuse me, or I might see a few people, or the Facebook community or Facebook will restrict views because I have some old posts in there that are being fact checked or that still kind of teetered on the conspiracy stuff, the whole big pharma stuff. And so they kept restricting. So I'm like, I really need to start a new page, um, shed the old way of thinking, shed that old stuff. I will still post the videos to address still the Dr. Phil videos, the PewDiePie stuff, because that still needs to be addressed. I still get people emailing me, reacting from that. And, that's fine. It's, an opportunity to do something with it. But it's not something that I want to do continuously. But I know I'm going to have to, which is fine. But I do need to shed the old and really go into this new year with the thought process and the biochemistry I have right now. And so it was just a perfect time. I mean, it was a perfect time to just do it. And so I changed it on my business, or changed it on my website as far as that link, as far as the fan page. And I changed the links through my group, my secret public private Facebook group. Okay, so I mean, it's not much is going to change, but I wanted to let you guys know that, yeah, I luckily Facebook has updated their ways to reach our community. And instead of me going in and checking invite to like all my friends like 4,000 times, I'm able to just hit select all and invite everybody, which saves a whole bunch of time. So you might get that invite to like the page. It's up to you to like it or not. But I want to get real true fans. I'm not always going to, but that 6,000 followers on my old Exposing the Lies was based upon my trolls, based upon a lot of stuff. So now this new page might be purely just fans and followers, as well as, yeah, trolls and lurkers, so which is fine. But now I've kind of just washed my hands of the past. It's still out there, of course, but I needed to just get away from the name Exposing the Lies. Now, I know that my book right now still has Exposing the Lies, which is fine because this is still an old thought process. It's still very relevant as far as the protocol, but we're going to be changing this. And Kevin and I were discussing that the information that we have right now for the second book, we may split it into two books. I don't know. We have so much information, and he's trying to figure out how to put it together to where we still can give you some meat, but we may need to spread it out because there's just so much info. So I don't know. I'll discuss it with him, but we're shooting for the springtime. Okay. And it's not going to be ebook. It's only going to be a paperback book because at least that'll cut down on the piracy and all that, because we know that's really prevalent and you really can't stop piracy from happening. But at least, if it's just a paperback book, someone can just screenshot pages, which, okay, fine. If you want to spend the time doing that. But those that want to support my work as well as Kevin's work, you'll just buy the book and we'll call it even. Okay. And then you send me the receipt and get into the group and all that. Okay. So those are the future plans that I've been thinking of. And I'm just excited, I mean, it's such, like, I'm telling you, I have been going through these stages of healing and stages of development, and you're seeing it, and you're seeing the tone, and you're seeing just the information. And right now I'm in the mode of kind of tackling the actual symptoms and names of the symptoms, which we're not going to tackle symptoms per se as far as names of it in the book, because we're not trying to promote any cures. We're not trying to compete with biotech. That's not the point. But on social media, I can talk about symptoms like Parkinson's, names of diseases. I can talk about lupus. I can talk about fibromyalgia. I could talk about cancer. This is not a cancer cure. This is not a lupus cure. This is not a fibromyalgia cure. But we need to understand what triggers lupus, fibromyalgia, Parkinson's, and all of that. What are the indicators? What are the predispositions? And then understand that J-Juice isn't going to be just for your lupus, just for your fibromyalgia, or just for your Parkinson's. It's going to be for everything your body has ever experienced as far as a weakness. And that's really that's why it was for, like when I said from A to Z, that's what I mean by A to Z, because I can't possibly name every single disease. I don't really want to. So, but I've noticed that those that are still coming from the standpoint of their disease, when I speak about it, it seems to reach them, and they get it, and they start seeing the evidence in their world of my information. So I find that that is strategic. It's effective to come from the symptom standpoint on social media, but not come from that in the book, because we're not, again, trying to promote cures or anything like that, especially on my website, because my website is still very just scant of the information. It only gives you just an introduction to J-Juice, and it only gives you a way to reach me if you need to. And it also gives you, oh gosh, just yeah, an introduction to the book and what currently is on the market, and then also what my future, plans are for the next book. So yes, Massimo Ponzi, paperback book. Good day, Jay. Good day to you, sir. So yeah, I notice, just like I notice on my Facebook, there's people that, that are still in the MLMs, and that's fine. But I want to make sure that I focus on this thing. Have you heard about Thrive? I know you guys heard about Thrive. And it is a conglomeration of vitamins, which is basically hormones, and minerals and acids, okay, that are put into like a pill, powder, or supplement, or shake, or a drink. And it energizes the person. It triggers the adrenal glands. Well, I have to make sure this is completely like clarified for people. When you take anything that is an energy type drink, even though they say it's all made of just vitamin B1, B2, B6, B7, whatever, all of those vitamins are types of acids and minerals and elements that trigger your hormones. That's all they are. And if you already sustained major weaknesses in your body and you have imbalances, Thrive and Plexus and all of these MLM supplements and detox and shakes are going to cause more mileage on your body that you can't afford. Okay, it's like putting a lead foot on a car that has a leaking gas tank. Okay, and so that's only, I mean, yeah, it's great for the interim. You need to, get all this energy so you can go to work. But remember Chris Watts and Shanann Watts? Remember those people that Chris Watts killed his whole family? Not saying people are going to do that, but they were in that world. And that Thrive affected him, affected his wife. Okay? So you don't know what it is that you're bringing in your body that is a supplement that is taxing your adrenals and causing you to have all this energy. And so, and especially if you have predispositions. Okay, when you have predispositions, you don't know what these supplements and these pills and these detoxes are going to trigger at some point. So there are a lot of dangers with the supplements world, with Thrive, with any of these things that induce an inordinate amount of energy that, yes, puts a smile on your face. Yes, you go to work feeling like you can, conquer the world, but you're taxing your adrenals, you're taxing your heart. You don't know what kind of predispositions you have. And even if you do, you don't know that you've now created predispositions, as well as have something that your parents don't even know if they have, but they pass it on to you. So I just have to warn you guys that are doing that those are the potential pitfalls when you're trying to create energy synthetically, because that's what supplements and pills and powders and shakes that do all these energy things. It's a synthetic energy that will bite you in the ass later on. Okay, so I really had to focus on that, because somebody on my Facebook is doing that, and they live in my area of Ohio, and they love it. But of course, it's like a drug. I mean, you know, people love their drugs, and you just got to know that you are participating in a type of drug that is masked in what they call supplements that trigger hormones to do a specific thing that makes you happy. But it's legal because it's not so aggressive where it could cause an antibiotic effect, but you don't know what biochemistry you're dealing with, and so it may actually cause an antibiotic effect, which then brings me to my next thing about antibiotics. Okay, so I was watching this morning, because I couldn't sleep, and I was watching The Doctors, which I think Dr. Phil's son runs those shows and everything, and they're having a discussion on antibiotics and meat and all the different things out there. Can you walk barefoot out there? Should you walk barefoot out there in the world where there's so many germs? And the caveman did it, but they had so many calluses. So it was like they were wearing shoes that were created by their skin. But nowadays we don't have people that are that callous enough to be able to walk barefoot and get away with it without incurring some kind of infection. And so they're talking about antibiotics and how that we are increasingly become antibiotic resistant. And they made it sound like that the viruses and the bacteria out there that cause the infections, okay, are getting smarter than the antibiotics that the biotech is creating. And they have mischaracterized it, because actually it's your microbiome that is actually smarter, and it's adapting and evolving, and it's not allowing biotech to upset the homeostasis in the body to anesthetize and stop the healing process. Because let me tell you, if your body was strong enough, it wouldn't have infection. The reason why you have infection is because you don't have enough of the minerals, enough of the fatty acids, the prohormones, the amino acids, and the minerals to fight infection to where it doesn't become infection. Infection is because a body is lacking and it can't heal itself properly. And so either you take enough nutrients to where you don't induce infection, or you take an antibiotic to stop the healing process, to stop the symptoms. And then what happens is they put antibiotics on it, and then they cover it, and then the body over time does heal itself. Some people heal fast with some kind of steroid cream. Some people heal really slow. And so, but to even trigger an infection says already the state of your body. So how fast or how slow you heal with the antibiotics is just determined by the state of your body, how many reserves you have on hand to be able to heal you, even with that antibiotic that stops the healing process. Okay, so it doesn't stop it a whole bunch altogether, but you don't want to feel pain, and pain is part of the healing process. So even though you superficially healed, the skin closed the wound, you still have a scar that is still now causing misfiring and miscalculations and dysfunctions in the processes. And that's trauma on the body that then becomes progressively stronger and stronger, and the weakness becomes greater and greater. And then this is where people start triggering predisposition because the way in which they handle their injuries and their diseases. And so the thing with autoimmunity and the Parkinson, that's why I was going through the different diseases like Parkinson's and lupus, which I didn't put, well, I did put lupus. I didn't put too much of fibromyalgia, but I was doing a lot of research. But these predispositions get triggered by an exposure to large amounts of elements on a body that's weak. And so this is why I say when they're doing light therapy, which I know people have doing phototherapy and light therapy, they're doing light therapy and phototherapy in lieu of drugs, thinking that's going to be a better alternative. That actually could trigger lupus in somebody that has a predisposition. So when you read about, and so when you research and you read about what is a predisposition to all these different diseases, what virus is associated to all these different diseases, you will see a pattern emerge. And then you can Google what specific proteins are involved. Where is the general area that it's involved in? There are so many scientific names, and that's why I kind of do this myriads of screenshots of like, you know, the Parkinson's, and then what proteins are involved with that then create, that are also offshoots of dementia and then other neurodegenerative type of diseases. And then you'll see relationships, and then you'll see why then autophagy, which is the body being triggered to purge out and disassemble mutated cells, negative mutated cells, and then allow the body to regenerate new cells. And so so somebody asked in my group, well, how does J juice induce autophagy? Well, because it's the nutrition that's broken down to pre-digested state, and it's the probiotic, the lactic acid, and it's the electrolytes. It's the energizing force that energizes all of those components together, and it works with the body to allow it to release what it doesn't need. That's why I say no urine therapy. You don't eat your poop. You don't drink your urine, because your body is releasing what it doesn't need where it's overabundant. And so that's why people who are doing extreme therapies out there are actually undermining their own healing process in the name of just eradicating pain, which is stopping the healing process. But they think that, you know, no pain means you're healed, and that doesn't really mean that at all. So anyways, trauma, weakness, and virus exposure linked to autoimmune disease. And yeah, so I mean, it's all stuff that you guys kind of know. You know, it's, you know, now it's more about how are you going to research on your own to find out stuff. And I think I've kind of given you guys all really good clues on how to do your own research. So now it's getting the feedback from all of you during your healing process, if you're willing to share, because yeah, everything is public, yes. But you also could send me an email to let me know what it is that you have been experiencing and what kind of issues you overcame with the J juice. And that is paramount too, because somebody can actually learn from that and from you. So, but I mean, that's really, really it. I don't know, at some point, you know, you guys will be in a state of just complete relaxation, and where finally it's just like, okay, you got everything handled, you know how to do this, and now you're just living your life, and you're not running on the hamster wheel. You're just, you get it, and you know you can be around for a while. So I don't know. There's a lot of information, and what I'm going to put in the new fan page or the new business page, it's still going to be information that I will perfect to make it better, more clear, and make the connections for people to make it easier. Okay. But anyways, I'm on like super little sleep, but I knew that I had to create a new business page to kind of wash my hands of the old stuff, because yeah, I don't think there's really 6,000 true fans. I think probably maybe there's 3,000. Okay, because I can, you know, in my old page, I can get like 60 or 100 views, but 1 or 2 likes. And I'm like, okay. So I'd rather be true to form and create a new page that I only invited my friends on Facebook, and then the ones that really want to follow, I can see, and then yes, and then you can invite your friends and your family, because now it's It just has a different look, a different feel, and it's more organized. And it's not so much stuff yet. Okay, so anyways, that's it for now. If I think of anything else, I'll let you guys know. All right, so have a great day, and you guys just hang in there and keep doing the J juice. All right, bye.